The movie starts when two brothers built a school together. One school was created to teach good things while the other one was created to teach evil things. That means on one side good magic was taught and on the other side bad magic was taught to students. The school was named the School for Good and Evil. The two brothers were fighting to practice their magic, but the evil brother had great blood magic and wanted to kill his good brother. He used forbidden magic to hurt his brother, and during the fight the good brother throws the evil brother from a huge height. After this incident, almost 2 years later, a new story started. Sophie was a very beautiful girl who lived with her father and stepmother in the human world. She wanted to visit the fairy world where she can become a beautiful princess. There was another girl named Agatha. She was the best friend of Sophie, but Agatha was not at all beautiful. Her hair was like a witch, and that is why everyone in the city used to call her a witch. Sophie and Agatha were completely different, but their friendship was very strong. After coming from school, both of them visited a bookshop nearby where Sophie bought books about fairies and princesses, while her friend bought books about ghosts and witches. After seeing the different interests of the two best friends, the shopkeeper lady gives Sophie the magical book of that school. After checking the book, Sophie asks the shopkeeper about the school, but the shopkeeper said that she don't know anything about this mysterious school and no one knows about it. It may exist in this world or somewhere else. All the good and bad stories started here, which we often read in books. They were all written in that school. Sophie's friend doesn't believe the words of the shopkeeper, but the lady tells them that many years ago one of the evil monsters of that school kidnapped the girl from their village, and until now no one knows where she is. Now Sophie was curious about that school after hearing so many mysterious things. She writes a letter to get admission to that school and hangs it on a tree. She also writes the name of her friend under that tree. When she tells her friend about this, Sophie's friend refused to go with her. She asked Sophie what you will do by going there, but Sophie was adamant and she wanted to go in that mysterious school at any cost. That night, Sophie came back to the place where she hanged the admission letter for school. Her best friend followed her, but suddenly a big monster appeared on the scene and took Sophie with him. Sophie's friend runs to save her, but then a big hawk appeared and took both of them in his claws. Now the big beast takes Sophie to the evil school and her friend to the school of goodness. Sophie tells the wolf guard of the evil school that she has mistakenly come here. She says that I'm a good and pretty girl, so I should have gone to the school of goodness. The wolf guard didn't listen to her. Later she goes inside the school and complains to a lady who was the principal there. The principal tells Sophie that our giant hawk never makes a mistake and he only drops the people in the schools they originally deserve. On the other hand, Sophie's friend was in the school of goodness. Some girls made fun of her looks and say that her hair looks more like a witch. Some say that look at your clothes, maybe you have come here by mistake. Some beautiful fairies come and they wanted to take Sophie's friend to the principal of the school. Agatha says that she didn't want to come here. It was her best friend Sophie who wanted to join this school. The principal says the same thing again, that our hawk never makes a mistake and never cannot come here. Now Sophie's friend Agatha didn't know the meaning of never. The principal tells her that the children who go to the school of evil are called never because they have evil nature and are never happy, and the children who are in the school of goodness are called ever because they have good and pure hearts. Now all the children are gathered in the hall where Agatha was wearing a very beautiful and heavy pink dress, whereas Sophie was only wearing a simple black dress, even though their choices were completely different. Here the students of evil wear simple dresses while the students of goodness wear very beautiful dresses. Now when the ceremony started, students of goodness showed their magic. Meanwhile the prince comes, who was the handsome son of the principal of school, but an evil student challenged him and knocked him down. All of a sudden he sees Sophie and Agatha, but he went to another girl and sat beside her. Later the school head comes. He is the same one who killed his evil brother at the start of the movie. He tells the student that all of them should study hard and get good grades. Then a story will be written for the student in the honor of their great achievement, and it will be brought to the human world. But then Agatha and Sophie say, what if someone has gone to the wrong place by mistake? The head tells them that it can never happen, we cannot make a mistake. Saying that, he goes away from the hall. At night, Agatha was coming to the school of evil to meet her friend Sophie. There she listens to the conversation of both principals. After the principals were gone, there comes the head of evil, who was saying that Sophie is his now. He was the one who made the school of evil and had the magic of blood. When Agatha came to the evil school, she sees that some evil girls were bullying Sophie and trying to cut her hair, but Sophie saves herself and treats the girl very badly. Suddenly Sophie sees Agatha and both of them go towards a Storian room. Surprisingly, not even a single soul was there. They see a magical book and pen in that room. The school head of goodness appears and he tells them that they are special because no one has ever entered this place. He asks them why they want to leave this school. Here Sophie says that she doesn't want to leave this school, only her friend wants to leave. She tells the head that she has come to the wrong school mistakenly and she didn't like her previous life. Agatha also wanted to take Sophie with her. Agatha asks the school head if all the stories of Snow White and Cinderella are true. He says that yes, absolutely all the stories are true. All of them studied in this school. He also tells Sophie that if you were a good person by heart, our hawk would not have sent her to an evil school. She says that I'm good and pretty and only these things are necessary to get admission to the school of goodness. Agatha tells her that true love is required for this. When you will find it, you will definitely get admission to a good school. After all the conversation, the head sends them back to their classes. When Agatha was in the class, her classmate tells her that if you fail an exam 3 times, she will be expelled from school. Hearing this, Agatha becomes very happy. But her happiness had a short life. The girl tells her that getting expelled means becoming a monster. When the class teacher comes and takes a test of her smile, she fails. On the opposite side, Sophie was given the test of ugliness in which she also fails. When they meet in the hall, Agatha tells Sophie about the king. But Sophie loves the prince who was the son of the school head. Sophie gives Agatha a letter and asks her to give this letter to the prince on her behalf. When Agatha was going to take her forest class, she gives the letter of Sophie to the prince and leaves. Now their forest teacher shows them very beautiful but dangerous flowers. He also shows them a scarecrow that was standing in the field like a human statue. He tells them that it becomes alive at night. Suddenly a flower bites a boy and he runs after being scared of it. This boy failed the exam a 3rd time. When Agatha follows him, she sees that a big black storm surrounds him and then he disappeared. Seeing this, Agatha becomes very scared. On the other side, an evil girl was teasing Sophie and the teacher was also not stopping her because it was a school of evil. The girl takes out a small dragon from her tattoo which attacks Sophie and tried to kill her. Sophie was helpless, she was just running here and there to save her life. Meanwhile, a bunch of honeybees come there and caught the dragon. As the dragon was part of the girl's body, when the dragon was dying, the girl also started dying. Sophie stops the bees. Now the bees were part of the evil headmaster who had the magic of blood. The principal takes away Sophie from the class and asks her who he is. Now the principal tells her about the head and says, "You are so powerful, Sophie." But Sophie says that I don't want to be powerful, I just want to go to the school of goodness. On the opposite side, the principal of goodness tells all students that goodness always saves. At the same time, Agatha asks her about the boy who disappeared into the jungle. The principal says that it's a rule of the school. She tells everyone that there is a fish in the pond who can fulfill any wish of everyone. So all of you can tell your wishes to that fish. When it's Agatha's turn, she asks people who want to go to their home, they can go comfortably. Suddenly the fish changes into a human girl and says that no one has asked for anything like this. You asked me what I wanted and now you have freed me from the magic curse. This magic was on her because she failed the test. After saying this, she disappeared. Meanwhile, the giant hawk comes there. When it comes near Agatha, she understands that it was the same boy who disappeared in the forest. The prince appeared suddenly and killed the hawk with his sword because he mistakenly thought that maybe the hawk was going to hurt Agatha. When she sees the hawk disappearing in ashes, she furiously punches the prince in the face. She asks the principal, "Do you consider these things good?" This is not good. In fact, it is worse than evil. After this, Sophie and Agatha meet. Sophie tells Agatha that she has seen the evil headmaster. Agatha says that she has also seen him. Then the prince came to them. Agatha leaves the prince and Sophie alone and goes away from there. Prince spreads the letter of Sophie. Meanwhile, the evil wolf god appears and he takes Sophie away. He takes her to the principal of evil who chopped off her hair and then locked her in the room. When she sees the mirror, the evil headmaster appears behind her and urges her that no one cares for you here except me. You can trust me. Hearing this, Sophie trusted him. When all the students were being distributed magic through a pin, Sophie comes there with the evil child and leave after taking the magic. Everyone was watching her. She also befriended those girls who teased her during the class. Agatha tells Sophie that if you want to win the heart and love of the prince, then you have to do everything I say. Alone with beauty, you cannot melt his heart. The next day, Sophie goes to the prince when he is practicing arrow shooting. Prince tells her that students of evil can never shoot an arrow at the target, but Sophie says that she can do it. She took the bow and arrow from the prince and shoot the arrow. With Agatha's magic, it hit the target. The prince was surprised. Now the prince chooses Sophie to be his queen, but no one likes this. Agatha says that true love cannot be changed nor fade away. The headmaster says that we will find out whether their love is true or not when we will leave them in the jungle separate and alone. If they successfully find each other, then their love is true. Everyone in the school will also accept their love. Now in the night, they were left alone in the jungle, but Sophie didn't know anything about the forest. She was attracted by those wildflowers who started biting her. Due to fear, she goes near the scarecrow, the same scarecrow who becomes alive at night. She starts screaming with fear, so Agatha Agatha changed her appearance to a pigeon and came to help Sophie. Meanwhile, they heard the voice of the prince. Agatha hides and sends Sophie to the prince. But while fighting the scarecrow, the magical sword of the prince fell on the ground. Scarecrow was hitting the prince badly. Agatha tells Sophie to pass the sword to the prince so he can save his life. But Sophie was very scared, so she didn't do anything. When the prince was almost going to be killed by the scarecrow, Agatha comes and gives him the sword which kills the scarecrow. The prince was very sad and angry at Sophie because she didn't do anything to save his life. Sophie was angry at Agatha and also leaves her. When Agatha comes back to the school, the principal scolds her and asks if she can really trust her best friend. In her defense, Agatha says that no, but not all humans are bad. Sophie was very angry when the evil headmaster appeared again and shows her that even her best friend is saying that you are bad and cannot be trusted. But he didn't show her the full conversation. Hearing these words made Sophie very angry. She was completely under the control of evil headmaster. He gives Sophie blood magic, which was very dangerous. The principal of the evil school was actually the same girl who disappeared from Sophie's village 20 years ago. In the school of goodness, the prince chooses Agatha as her queen. Sophie comes here in the hall. Now she had become a witch. Her face was scary and horrible now, all because of the blood magic. She tells the prince that only I can be your queen. After saying this, she left. By her blood magic, she changed all the students, guards, and teachers of the school into small toys. After seeing this, the prince tries to attack the school of the evil, but Sophie stopped them with her magic and attacks them in return. Now the students of evil start to become beautiful while the students of goodness start changing into evil, becoming ugly. A big fight started here between good and evil. Agatha tries to stop Sophie and tells her don't do this. But Sophie didn't listen to her and entered the historian room where there was a golden pen with a book. She came here to kill the good head of the school. She sees that the head of goodness turns into the evil head. Now the evil head tells her that I was alive from the beginning. When I fell from that height, I came back and killed my good brother. After that, I took his place and faced to control everything. When he controls Sophie completely, everything in the school starts to destroy. Sophie tells him to stop this. She says that I didn't want any of this. I didn't want to kill anyone. Meanwhile, Agatha comes there to save Sophie. But the evil head says that she is mine now. Agatha tells him that he cannot do any harm to her friend until she is here. Then suddenly the evil headmaster attacks her with a magical pen. But Sophie comes in front of Agatha and takes the attack for her. Now the pen hits her in the middle of the chest. As the evil headmaster was sharing his magic with Sophie, when Sophie was injured and dying, the evil head also started dying. Prince comes and tries to attack the evil head from behind with his sword, but he attacks the prince in exchange and he falls away. Sophie tries to give the prince back his sword with her magic, which Agatha grabs and kills the head of evil. Now Sophie also died. When Agatha was crying, her tears fell on the wound of Sophie, which surprisingly healed her wound and she becomes alive again. Seeing this, Agatha becomes very happy. Now all the bad and good students meet there and started to live their life happily. Then a magical portal opens, which was the way of going back home for Sophie and Agatha. Agatha tells Sophie that she should stay with the prince and she will go home, but Sophie refuses her and says that we will both go home together. Now both of them comes back to their old life and started living happily together. Both of them have magic now. One day Prince Arrow hit the trees in the real world, which says that Agatha, I need you. With this, the movie ends here.